In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to trade futures on the Bitunix crypto exchange. If you're still relatively new to the platform and you'd like to learn more about the basic features, such as depositing crypto assets or how to trade on the spot market, I did make a separate tutorial for that, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, I'll be focusing on futures trading. I'm going to show you how to internally transfer your assets from your spot account and into your futures account. Then I'll take you into the futures market and show you all the different pairings. Then I'll get you familiar with the user interface. After that, I'll show you where you can find the funding rate, how to change your margin mode, and how to adjust your leverage. Then I'll demonstrate some trades going long and short using market orders, limit orders, and how to set up stop losses and take profits. All of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If you're signing up on Bitunix, I left you a link in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment down below. If you use my link when signing up, you're going to save 5% on all your trading fees for the lifetime of your account. Bitunix is also often running promotions for people who are signing up for the first time. These can be deposit bonuses, mystery boxes, giveaways, airdrops, and more. So if you use my link when signing up, you'll save 5% on all your trading fees and be eligible for the current promotion, whatever that might be by the time you're watching this video. You'll also be supporting my channel at no extra cost to you. This video is not financial advice. This video is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research before ever using a crypto exchange, including Bitunix. I also left you some timestamps in the description down below, so at any point, feel free to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant to you. Let's get into the video. If you click on my link in the description of this video or in the pinned comment down below, you'll be redirected to this page here, or some variation of it. And as you can see, at the time of recording, there is an exclusive deposit bonus promotion that's currently running, all the way up to August 1st. Now, if you're watching this video after August 1st, all good, there's likely a different promotion available to you. It also means that you likely got redirected straight to the sign up page, which I'll be covering that page here next. For this current promotion, the first 50 users that sign up using my link are going to get a $10 trade bonus. Additionally, there is an exclusive deposit bonus as well. So deposit 100 Tether and make a trade, get 20 USDT trading bonus, or deposit 1,000, make a trade and get a 200 USDT trading bonus. You can use these bonuses to place additional trades and the profits are yours to keep. When you're ready to create an account, you can click on this link right here, or you can come up here, top right hand side, and click on sign up. And this will bring you over to the sign up page. And I'll quickly point out that there is another promotion that's running currently, and that's get up to 5,500 USDT worth of newbie benefits that await you inside the platform. And I'll show you where to go to check out those rewards. So at the time of recording, there's two promotions, the one I just showed you, this promotion here, plus everybody's going to save 5% on all your trading fees for the lifetime of your account. So when you're ready to create your account, you can do so using an email, you can use a mobile number, so just choose an option that works best for you. Come up with a good password, read through the Bitunix user agreement, the privacy policy, and if all of that checks out to you, check this box right here, and then click on this box right here. Once you create your account and sign into the platform, you might arrive here on the home page. And if you didn't, you can get to the home page by coming up here and clicking on the Bitunix logo. It's also possible that you were redirected straight to your assets overview page, and to get to that page, we'd come up here, hover over assets, we'd click here on asset overview. And it is possible that you arrived on this page once you signed into your account. On the asset overview page, you'll be able to see an overview of all your accounts. And if you come over here on the left-hand side, you'll see your spot account here and your futures account here. And you can simply click on the account that you wish to view. After signing in, don't forget to check out the welcome bonuses. So if you come right up here, give this a click. This will bring you over to this page here. And currently, there's up to 5,500 USDT worth of newcomer rewards. If we scroll down this page a little bit, you'll see right here that at the time of recording, there's some mystery boxes that you can open, and you can win some free Tether in these boxes and maybe other rewards as well. If we scroll down a little further here, you'll see there's some newcomer tasks, and these are little bonuses for completing tasks on the platform, such as placing trades. So if you're going to be placing trades anyways, just remember to come in here and claim some of these futures bonuses. Remember, you can use these bonuses to place additional trades and the profits are all yours to keep. If we scroll down a little further here, you'll see that there's a limited time deposit bonus. And basically, the more you deposit onto the platform, the more in bonuses you can receive. So make sure to come in and check out these welcoming bonuses. Now at the time of recording, KYC and a VPN was not necessary to create an account, but some of the services are limited. For example, you won't be able to buy any crypto using fiat. but you can still deposit crypto assets onto the platform, and you can proceed to trade on the spot market as well as the futures market. Now this could change in the future. So towards the end of this tutorial, I'll show you where to go to get verified just in case it becomes necessary by the time you're watching this video. And you can use the timestamps in the description down below to skip ahead to that section. But as I mentioned, at the time of recording, you don't need to do KYC and you don't need a VPN to use Bitunix. Now, if you'd like to deposit some crypto assets onto the platform from another exchange or wallet address, you can get that done right here on your assets overview page. You just come over here to where it says deposit and give that a click. Alternatively, you can come up here to where it says assets. Then in this drop down menu, you can click here on deposit. And this will bring you over to the crypto deposit form where you can transfer assets from another exchange or from a wallet address. But if you want any more information on how to get this done, I'll invite you to watch my Bitunix step-by-step beginner tutorial, where I go into detail on how to deposit crypto assets or how to buy them using fiat. In this video, I'll be focusing on futures trading. So I'll go ahead and leave a link to my Bitunix step-by-step beginner tutorial, and I'll leave that in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. Before trading on the futures market, you'll have to internally transfer your assets from your spot account and into your futures account. So to get this done, we'll come right here to our assets overview page. And as I mentioned before, you can get here by coming up to where it says assets, then click on assets overview in this drop down menu. Right over here on the right hand side, you'll find the transfer button right next to withdraw. So we'll go ahead and give that a click. Then you'll get this pop-up window where you can transfer assets internally between your accounts. And there's no fees to get this done. It's simply an internal transfer. And you can see in my case here that I'm already set up to transfer assets from my spot account and into my USDT margin account. But I'll point out, you can also flip these around by simply clicking on these arrows right here. Now you can see I'm set up to transfer from USDT margin account and back into spot. So in the future, when you want to get your assets out of your futures account, back into spot, you just use these arrows over here to flip those around. But of course, I want to transfer from spot into futures, so I'm going to give that a click one more time. And now I'm ready to make my transfer. Right here, you can choose a coin that you wish to transfer by giving this a click. And at the time of recording, USDT is the only coin available that you can transfer from spot and into futures. Then you can trade all the USDT margin accounts. But perhaps they add more market types in the future, and to select the coin you want to transfer, you likely just have to click on this box here and select it from the drop down menu. But as I mentioned, for now, USDT is the only option. Right here, you'll be able to see your available balance. So you can type in a custom amount to transfer in if you wish. I could do something like this. But if you want to transfer all of it, you just come over here and click on all. Then when you're ready, click here on submit. And just like that, I transferred my tether from my spot account and into my futures account. If I come over here on the left hand side and click where it says futures account, this will bring me into my futures account. And right here, you can see the tether that I just transferred in. As easy as that. Now that I've transferred some tether into my futures account, I'm ready to trade using the tether pairings. So to get into the futures market, we'll come right up here where it says futures and give that a click. And this will bring you into the futures market user interface. You'll find all your pairings up here top left hand side. So in my case where it says BTC USDT, just give that a click. It'll drop down and here's where you'll find all the different pairings that are available on Bitunix. At the time of recording, these are all quoted in tether. This means that all profits and losses will be settled in tether. It also means that you have to transfer tether from your spot account and into your futures account in order to trade these pairings. I imagine in the future that Bitunix will be adding more market types as well as pairings. When that happens, you'll likely find your market types listed right up here. So what you would do from here is you'd click on the market type, then click on the pairing you wish to trade. Alternatively, you can search for a pairing in the search bar up above. So if I wanted Solana, I would type in the ticker for Solana, which is SOL. And as you can see, a result just came up right here, so I can give that a click. And now I've changed the pairing to Solana versus Tether. And you can see that right here. For this tutorial, I'll demonstrate with Bitcoin versus Tether. So I'm going to come up here, click where it says SOL USDT. I can see Bitcoin at the top, so I'll click on that. And as you can see, I just changed this back to Bitcoin versus Tether. So now I'm ready to go long or short on Bitcoin. Now, if you're already an experienced trader or you've watched any of my other exchange tutorials, you're likely already familiar with the user interface. But if this is your first time seeing this, all good. This is a beginner's tutorial, so I'm going to take a little bit of time and break all of this down for you. Remember, if there's anything you're already familiar with in this tutorial, just use the timestamps in the description down below to skip to a section that's most relevant to you. So I'll start right here at the price action chart. And the price action chart is showing us the asset's performance over a selected time frame. You'll find your time frames top left hand side of the chart. You can see in my case here that I'm currently set to a daily time frame. That means each one of these candlesticks down below represents 1 day of time. If you want to change the time frame that you're viewing, just come up to your time frames and click on the time frame you wish to view. So let's go ahead and click right here on 4H. Now I'm viewing the price action on a 4-hour time frame. That means each one of these candlesticks now represents 4 hours of time. If you want to find additional time frames, just come right up here, click on this little arrow. You'll get this little drop down box where you can find additional time frames. Simply click on the time frame you wish to view. You can also adjust your favorite time frames by clicking right here on Edit. And let's imagine that I want to get rid of the 15 minute and add the 5. I'll just click here on 15. Now we'll click on 5. When we look at the time frames up here, top left hand side, you'll see that I removed the 15-minute time frame and added the 5-minute time frame. So make sure to add your favorite time frames to the top of your chart. So I'll go ahead and just uncheck this 5. We'll go back to 15. And when you get it set up the way that you want it, click right here on Save. Now this chart is powered by TradingView. So that means you're going to have access to some drawing tools as well as some basic indicators from TradingView. You'll find your drawing tools over here on the left-hand side. And next to each drawing tool is a tiny little arrow. If you give that a click, you'll get this drop-down menu where you'll find additional drawing tools. You can build a tab of some of your favorite drawing tools if you highlight the star next to the drawing tool you wish to save. So let's go ahead and do a trend line here. I'll highlight the star. Let's come down. We'll do a horizontal like so. Let's go ahead and add a Fibonacci retracement just like so. I'll come down here. Let's go ahead and grab a brush because I'll be using that in this tutorial. And let's go ahead and grab a rectangle down here. Now when I close this out, you can see that I just created a little tab here with some drawing tools in it. And I can drag it anywhere on the chart that I like it. When you want to add a drawing tool to the chart, you just left click on the drawing tool that you wish to add. So for example, I'll grab a horizontal here on this little tab. Now let's come over here to the chart. And I'll go ahead and click right here, marking out a little bit of support for Bitcoin. When we look left, we can see that horizontal got stabbed by this wick right here. We can see these wicks were reaching for that area right here. A little bit of a fake out down below it here. But recently we can see Bitcoin's trying to establish support off it once again. It remains to be seen if Bitcoin will break through there and move to the downside. Always remember with charting and technical analysis that this is not a crystal ball. There's only probabilities and possibilities. So whenever you're considering your trade setups, you always want to consider where you're going to take a loss if the trade doesn't go favorably for you. And that's how you can manage your losses. I can move this horizontal if I just grab onto it with my mouse, hold down left click. As you can see, I can move this anywhere on the chart that I like. I can drag it up there if I want. If I want to delete it all together, I can come down here and click on this trash icon. And it's gone. So take some time, play around with some of these drawing tools, and kind of get to know how they work. There's just simply way too many of these for me to cover in this particular video, and it goes a little bit beyond the scope of it. But in the future, I am considering on making a little tutorial series on how to use indicators as well as drawing tools. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to produce some of that content. And if enough people are interested, then I'll go ahead and build a little playlist of indicators and drawing tools. If you'd like to add an indicator to the chart, just come right up here and click on this little indicator box. You'll get this pop-up window right here. You can scroll through the indicators with the wheel of your mouse, and you can just left click on an indicator that you wish to add to the chart. If there's something specific that you're looking for, you can always search for it in the search bar. So let's go ahead and do the RSI. I'll type that in. I can see the relative strength index right here, so we'll click on that. I'll close this out. And as you can see, I just added the RSI to the bottom of the chart. If I want to delete that, I just come over to this little X inside this pane here and press on it. And as you can see, I just got rid of the RSI. Right here, there's a little line. If you left click on that, you can raise this up, exposing the volume down below, or you can lower it down like so. I usually like to leave it down here, something like this, but certainly adjust that to your preference. And lastly, I'll show you how you can adjust the appearance of your chart. You can just simply right click on it, come down here and click on settings. What I like to do in here is come down to canvas and give that a click. And the first thing I like to do is get rid of the horizontal and vertical grid lines, as they're just not doing anything for my trading style. So to get that done, we'll come right here where it says grid lines. We'll click on this box right here. Then we'll come down here and click on none. Now, as you can see, I just got rid of the grid lines in the background here. The next thing I like to do is I like to make sure I'm set to the darkest color for the background. So we'll come up to this little box right here and give that a click. Now, as you can see, I have it set to the darkest color, but you can choose whatever color that you like. Whatever looks best to you when you're doing your charting. For me, it's this color here. You can even add a gradient. So if you click here where it says solid, you can select gradient. Now you can choose two different colors if you want. So we can do a lighter gray and we can do a darker gray like so. Now, as you can see, I just added a gradient in the background here. At any point, you can restore the default settings of the chart. If you come down here, click on template, then click on apply defaults. Now, as you can see, I just restored the default settings of the chart. So I'll go ahead and quickly retrace my steps here. We'll go ahead and get rid of the grid lines, make sure we're set to the darkest color, looks good. And when you finally get it looking the way that you like it, just come down here and click on OK. And next to the price action chart, we have the order book. And the order book is showing us where market participants have placed their long orders, their short orders, or their take profit targets for their trades. So the top side of the order book in red, these are the price points that market participants have placed their short orders or their take profit for their long orders. Down here in green, we have the price points that market participants have placed their long orders or their take profit for their short orders. In the middle of the order book right here, we have the mid price, which is the price point that the asset is currently trading at. So all these orders up above are greater than the mid price, and all these orders down below are less than the mid price. And the traders are placing these orders by using limit orders, which I'll be demonstrating in this tutorial. When a trader comes along and executes a market order, they're matched up with the best available price from the order book, and that trade is executed immediately. And you can see these trades happening in real time if you come up here and click on trades next to order book. And here's where you can see trades being executed in real time. All the buys are coming in green and all the sells are coming in red. In the price column, you can see the price point the successful trade was executed at, and in the quantity column, you can see the size of the trade that was successfully executed. When you want to get back to your order book, just come up here and click on order book. And next to the order book, you have your order panel, where you can open long positions right here, so if you're betting on the price to go up, or you can sell short if you're betting on the price to go down. And you can do that using limit orders, market orders, and you can set up trigger orders as well. And I'll be demonstrating some of these order types in this tutorial. Right above the price action chart is where you'll find your funding rate. And at the time of recording, you can see that there's a positive funding rate of 0.015%. This means that any traders currently holding a long position are paying that funding rate to traders holding a short position. If you ever see a negative funding rate, that means that traders who are holding a short position are paying the funding rate to traders holding a long position. And you can see there's funding periods right here. You can see a little countdown timer. So this funding period has 2 hours and 15 minutes remaining. When that timer reaches 0, anybody holding a long position will be paying this funding rate to anybody holding a short position. Now, it's always a good idea to pay attention to the funding rate. Sometimes the funding rate can get really high, and it can become expensive to hold on to your position. I'll also mention that sometimes you'll see a really high funding rate at an inflection point in the market. And that's because when the funding rate's getting really high, it begins to disincentivize traders to hold on to their positions. So sometimes you'll see a really high funding rate just before an inflection point on the market. This funding rate right here is not a very high one, so for me this wouldn't be a canary in the coal mine. But it's always a good idea to pay attention to that funding rate. You'll find your margin mode just above the order panel right here. You can see in my case I'm currently set to cross. But if you want to change your margin mode, just give that a click. You'll get this pop-up window here where you can toggle between cross margin as well as isolated margin. You'll even find a brief description of what each one of these margin modes are. But in a nutshell, if you're using cross margin, that means that Bitunix will be using your entire futures account balance as collateral across all of your open positions, whether you have 2 open positions, 5 open positions, or 1 open position. So if you get liquidated when using cross margin, you will lose your entire futures account balance. Now, in some cases, cross margin can help prevent liquidation. For example, let's imagine you have two open trades. You have a long position on Bitcoin and a long position on Ethereum. So you're betting on the price to go up. Let's imagine in this scenario that your Bitcoin position is going favorably and returning a profit. But at the same time, maybe your Ethereum position is going against you. In this scenario, the profits from your Bitcoin position will be temporarily offsetting the losses from your Ethereum position. So in some cases, cross margin can also prevent liquidation. But the big takeaway here, if you're a beginner, is just understand that if you get liquidated when using cross, you're going to lose your entire futures account balance. When you're using isolated margin mode, all your positions are independent from the other. So if one of your positions gets liquidated on isolated margin mode, you'll only lose the collateral that you put into that specific position versus your entire account balance, unless you put all of your account balance into one particular trade. Each one of these margin modes definitely has its benefits, but being that this is a beginner's tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and use isolated margin mode. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here, and then I'll click on confirm. Now when we come back up here to the order panel, you can see that I just switched this to isolated margin mode. Now if any of you would like to learn more about cross margin, let me know in the comments section down below. If there's enough demand for that, I'm happy to put out a brief video demonstrating some trades using cross margin and how the maintenance margin works when using that margin mode. So just let me know down below if that's something you're interested in. Next to your margin mode is where you'll find your leverage. And by default, you can see that I'm currently set to 20x leverage, which in my opinion is a lot of leverage. Yes, leverage can maximize your gains, but it can also maximize your losses or get you completely liquidated. When you're using high amounts of leverage, you can get liquidated faster than a fart in a hurricane. So you have to be really careful if you're going to be using high levels of leverage. Now to change our leverage, we'll just click right here on 20x. We'll get this pop-up window here where we can adjust our leverage. We can type in a custom amount in here if we wish. I could do something like that. But alternatively, you can just use this slider bar down below. I'll go ahead and just set this to 2x like so. 2x leverage means I can open up position sizes 2 times greater than the collateral I need to open the position. If I was to use 10x leverage like so, that means I can open up position sizes 10 times greater than the collateral needed to open that position. So yes, margin can certainly maximize your gains because you can open up bigger positions than the amount of capital that you hold on account. But it's more important to keep in mind that leverage can maximize your losses or get you completely liquidated. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing your leverage. I'll go ahead and set us to 2x. When you choose the amount of leverage you wish to use, come down here, click on confirm. Now when we come back up to the order panel, you can see I'm on isolated margin mode and I'm using 2x leverage. First, I'll demonstrate a market order. These order types are nice and simple. They'll execute immediately at the best available price off of the order book. Whether you're opening a long position, betting on the price to go up, or opening a short position, betting on the price to go down. To use a market order, we'll come up here to the order panel. We'll make sure to click on market. Next, we need to choose the size of the position that we wish to open. We can do that in the quantity box right here. Now in my case here, you can see this box is toggled to BTC, which is the underlying asset that I'm currently trading. But you can change that by simply clicking here on BTC. You'll get this pop-up window here, and we can also select USDT cost value. And that's typically my preference when I'm trading Tether pairings. So we'll go ahead and give that a click. Now we'll click here on OK. Now when we come back over here to the order panel, you can see I changed this cost value box quoted in Tether. You'll be able to see your available balance right here, so you'll know exactly what you're working with. So I could come down here and I could type in 100. Alternatively, you can use this slider bar down below. And if I was to slide this up to 50%, that's going to put 50% of my available Tether as collateral into this position. If I slid this up to 100%, that would be putting all of my Tether into this position as collateral. For this demonstration, I'll go ahead and just type in 100 Tether. But once you get this order set up the way that you want it, You'd come down here, click on buy long if you're betting on the price to go up, or you'd click on sell short if you're betting on the price to go down. I'll demonstrate as a buyer first, so I'm going to click here on buy long. Then you'll get an order confirmation pop-up window where you can confirm the details are what you intended. And you'll notice right down here, the estimated liquidation price for this particular position is $30,339. So if this trade was to go against me and the price of Bitcoin got down to $30,339, this position will be liquidated and I'm going to be losing all the collateral that I put into this position. And remember, the more leverage that you use, the closer this liquidation price is going to be to your entry price. And I'll quickly show you that. So if I close this out, I'll come back up here to my leverage and I'll go ahead and adjust this to say 25x. Now I'll click on confirm. And I'll go ahead and open the same cost value position using 25x leverage. I'll come down here, click on buy long. We got our order confirmation pop-up window. Now you can see that the estimated liquidation price came all the way up from 30,000 to 58,068. So if this trade goes against me and the price of Bitcoin gets to 58,000, this position will be liquidated and I'll be losing all the collateral I put into this position. So as you can see, the more leverage that you use, the easier it is to get liquidated. So I'm going to quickly switch us back to 2x here. Just like so. And let's go ahead and open this long position. Confirm the details. If they're what you intended, come down here, click on confirm. And just like that, I instantly opened that long position at the best available price off of the order book. And now we can see it on the chart itself right here. You can also find the details of your open position if you come down here and click on the positions tab. And right here is where you'll be able to see your open positions. You'll be able to see the entry price that you got right here for your market order. You'll be able to see the position size right here. If we come over here on the right, we'll be able to see that estimated liquidation price. If you'd like to add a take profit and a stop loss to your open position, you can click right here on TPSL. And I'm using a burner account, so this is the first time I've set a take profit and stop loss on this account, so I'm getting a TPSL reminder here. I'm quite familiar with this, so I'm just going to go ahead and click here on I understand. Actually, I'll click here, don't show again. I understand. In this box right here, we can set a price point as our take profit. So I just opened this position at 60,258. And let's just imagine that I'm targeting 70,000. I'll just go ahead and type that in. Just like so. Now right here, Bitunix is estimating approximately how much profit I'm going to make if this target gets hit, and how much of a return this is going to be. Then just below that, we can set our stop loss. Let's imagine that I want to set a stop loss at 59,010. I'll just go ahead and type that in like so. Then right here, I can see how much I'll be losing if this trade goes against me and hits my stop loss. Once you have it set up the way that you want it, you'd come down here, click on confirm. We'll get our order confirmation pop-up window here. Make sure it's what you intended. If it is, click on confirm once again. Now I've added a stop loss as well as a take profit. We can see the stop loss in this box right here and the take profit in this box right here. We can also easily amend these by just simply grabbing onto the box with our mouse, and we can drag it wherever we want. So let's imagine that I want to move this take profit up, maybe somewhere up around this pivot right here. Can drag it up, let go. Now as you can see, I just quickly amended my take profit to 71,253. And it's the same for the stop loss. Let's imagine I want to drag it down a bit, giving this trade a little bit more room to breathe. Maybe just below this wick right here. Now as you can see, I just quickly amended that stop loss, as easy as that. If you want to cancel these, just click on the little X inside the box. So let's go ahead and cancel the stop loss like so. And let's go ahead and cancel the take profit as well. And just like that, I canceled both the stop loss as well as the take profit. Now, if you'd like to manually close your position, you can do that by coming down to the positions tab, and you'll find your options for closing positions right here. If you click on flash close, that's going to close your position immediately at the best available price off of the order book. If you click right here on reverse, this is going to close your current position and open the same position size but in the other direction. So if I was to click on reverse, I'd be closing this long position and immediately opening a short position. I don't want to do any of that right now, so I'm going to go ahead and click right here on flash close. You can see right here that I'm getting confirmation saying that this is going to close at the market price. That works perfectly fine for me, so I'm going to come down here and click on confirm. And just like that, I immediately close that position at the best available price off of the order book. Now I'll show you how you can use a market order to open a short position, but I'll show you how you can set a take profit and stop loss while you're placing your order. To get this done, we'll come back up here to the order panel. We'll make sure we're set to market. Now we'll choose our position size. I'll just go ahead and do the same thing. I'll do 100 tether, just like so. Now before placing the short position, I'm going to come over here and click where it says TPSL. If you're opening a long position, you'd click this one here where it says buy TPSL, but I'm going to do a short, so we'll click right here. Now I can set my take profit as well as my stop loss. Let's quickly head over here to the chart. Let's imagine that I'm looking at the current price action of Bitcoin, and maybe I believe that Bitcoin's about to break through support and move to the downside. And perhaps I want to try to place a take profit right around here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab this horizontal here out of my drawing tools, and I'll mark that pivot, maybe something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 52,390. So I'll use that as my take profit price on my short position. So I'm going to come over here to the TP price and we'll type that in. We'll go 52,390. Now I can see right here what my expected P&L is going to be if my target gets hit. And let's go ahead and set up a stop loss now. So we'll come back over here to the chart, and let's just imagine that I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Bitcoin is on support. So maybe if it finds its footing and begins to move to the upside, I'm going to want to manage my risk somewhere. Maybe around this pivot right here. Perhaps I believe that if Bitcoin finds support here and gets up above that pivot, that maybe I'm going to be wrong about this trade idea, and I want to close in a loss before it gets any worse as Bitcoin keeps moving to the upside. So what I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal here, and just for the purposes of demonstration, I'll mark a spot just above this wick, maybe something like that. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming at 64,300. So let's come down here to SL price. We'll type that in. 64,300. Now I can see what my expected loss is going to be if this trade goes against me and hits my stop loss. So now that I have this set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come over here and click on short. We'll get our order confirmation details again, so we'll confirm it's what we intended. And if it is, we'll come down here and click on confirm. And just like that, I immediately opened that short position at the best available price off of the order book. And if we come up to the chart, you can see my stop loss was added immediately right here, and my take profit was added as well. And of course, if we want to cancel those, we'll just click on the little X inside those boxes. Just like so. We'll get rid of the stop loss. And just like that, I got rid of that take profit as well as stop loss. And once again, we can find the details of our open position if we come down here, click on open positions. And right over here on the right hand side is where you'll also see your unrealized P&L. So this is how much I'll be losing approximately plus my fees if I was to close this trade. So I'm getting absolutely destroyed here. So now that I'm ready to lock in my big fat loss, we can come over here and I can click on flash close. And once again, this is how you can manually close your position immediately. So I'll go ahead and click on confirm. And I just closed that position at the best available price off the order book. So that's how you can use market orders as well as set up take profits and stop losses. Now I'll demonstrate limit orders. And these order types give you the ability to choose a price point that you wish to open a long position or a price point that you wish to open a short position. But you will need the price of the asset to reach your order price before your order is going to fill and execute into a position. So to use a limit order, we'll come up here to the order panel and we'll click right here on limit. Now we need to choose a price point that we wish to open a long or a short position. And I'll demonstrate with a long position first. So let's head on over here to the chart. Let's go ahead and just delete these horizontals just like so. Now let's imagine that I'm looking at this chart through the lens of a bull. I can see Bitcoin's kind of down near support right now, and maybe I believe it's going to find support, catch a bounce, and move to a higher price point. Maybe somewhere down around these candle bodies right here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab a horizontal to my tab here again. I'll mark these candle bodies out just like so. If I look at the y-axis of the chart, I can now see a price point correlating to that horizontal coming in at 58,194. So I'll use that price point as my limit order to open a long position. So we'll come up here to order price, and we'll type that in. We'll go 58,194. Once again, we'll choose the size of our position, and I'll just go ahead and do 100 tether again, just like so. And now that I have this order set the way that I want it, I'm just going to come down here and click on Buy Long. Once again, we'll get our order confirmation pop-up window, so make sure the details are what you intended. If they are, come down here and click on Confirm. And now I've placed that limit order on the order book. And we can actually see it on the chart right here inside this little box. So if Bitcoin was to come down and sweep the lows, hitting 58,194, this order is going to fill and execute me into a long position. And I would be looking for price action to bounce to the upside for this trade idea to be profitable. If Bitcoin comes down, fills my order, and then just falls through this like a trapdoor, I'm going to get obliterated. You can find the details of your limit order if you come down here, click on Open Orders. And here's where you'll be able to see your limit orders that you have resting on the order book. If at any point you want to cancel your limit order, you can come over here and click on Cancel. And just like that, I took that limit order off of the order book. Of course, we can use a limit order to place a short order as well. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate how to do that, but this time I'll show you how to add a take profit and stop loss while you're placing your limit order. So to get this done, we'll come back up here to the order panel. We'll click right here on Limit. Now I need to choose a price point to place a short order. So let's head back over here to the chart. And let's imagine that I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe Bitcoin does find some support here, starts to work its way back up, somewhere around the top side of this range. You'll notice if I grab a horizontal here and mark this area on the chart like so, I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart correlating to that horizontal, coming in at 71,556. So I'll go ahead and use that price point for this demonstration. So we'll come over here to the order panel, and I'll type that into order price. We'll go 71,556. Not 715,000, 71,556. Next, we'll choose the size of our position. I'll do 100 tether again, just like this. Now, before placing this short order, I'm going to come down here and check this right here, Sell TPSL. If you're doing a long position, you'd click over here. So in this box right here, I can set my take profit. And let's just imagine that I want to target the bottom side of this range if Bitcoin was to come up and fill my order and roll over. So I've already marked that out with this horizontal down here at 58,194. And just for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that I want to use that price point as my take profit target for this short position. So we'll come over here. We'll type that into TP, toilet paper, 58,194. Now I can see what my expected P&L is if this order was to fill and then reach my target. And now let's go ahead and set a stop loss. So we'll come back over here to the chart. And maybe I want to manage my risk just above this pivot point right here. Maybe I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If Bitcoin comes up, fills my order, but then starts poking its nose through that resistance, then maybe I want to get the heck out of the way, because perhaps that is a sign that Bitcoin's getting ready to just melt to the upside. And perhaps I don't feel like getting absolutely wrecked if that was to happen with this demonstration. So what I'll do is I'll grab this horizontal here and I'll mark a spot just above these wicks, something like this, a little bit of room to breathe there. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming at 74,216. So we'll come down here and we'll type that into SL, 74,216. So now that I have this set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here, click on Sell Short. You'll get your order confirmation. Make sure the details are what you intended. If they are, click right here on Confirm. And just like that, I placed that order to open a short position at 71,556. So if Bitcoin does find support and it comes up to this price point right here, my short order is going to fill. And when that happens, my stop loss will be added immediately at 74,216. And my take profit will be added down here at 58,194. You can find the details of your order if you come down here, click on Open Orders, then click right here where it says Limit. And here's where you'll find your limit order that you placed on the order book. You'll notice if we come over here where it says TPSL, you can see the take profit that's going to be added right here if this order fills. And you'll see the stop loss will be added at 74,216, of course, only if the order fills. At any point, if you want to cancel this, you just come over here on the right-hand side and click on Cancel. And just like that, I took that limit order off of the order book. And that canceled that take profit and stop loss as well. So as you can see, limit orders do give you the ability to be a bit more strategic by choosing a price point that you wish to open a long position or a price point that you wish to open a short position. But you do need the price of the asset to reach your order price before your order will fill and execute you into a position. So for example, in my long scenario here, maybe Bitcoin finds support right here and then just starts moving to the upside. Of course, I'd miss this trade because Bitcoin failed to come down and reach my order price at 58,194. Or maybe Bitcoin does get down there, fills my long order, but then just falls through support like a trap door and waterfalls to the downside. Of course, I'd get absolutely wrecked in that particular situation. And that's why it's good to add a stop loss when you're placing your orders. In my short scenario, maybe Bitcoin does find a little bit of support, comes up, maybe somewhere in here, rolls over, and then moves to the downside. Of course, I'd miss that short trade because the price of Bitcoin failed to come up and fill my order at 71,556. Or maybe Bitcoin does come up there, fills my order, but then just melts to the upside and goes on a rip. Of course, I'd be taking a loss because I had a stop loss set right here at 74,260. So a couple basic considerations when choosing if a limit order is appropriate for your trade idea. And always a good idea to consider your risk management before ever placing a trade. You really want to manage the losses and maximize the gains. Being successful as a trader comes down to how well you manage your losses, because that is a part of trading, and how consistent you can be over time. But that's how you can use limit orders. Now I'll show you where you can find the trading fees. Simply come right up here where it says Bitunix and click on the logo. And this will bring you to the home page. What we'll do from here is we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, just like so. And right here under services, you'll see where it says fees. Just give that a click. And here's where you can find your fees. So you can see if you're a regular user, your taker fee is going to be 0.06% and your maker fee is going to be 0.02%. Taker stands for placing market orders. Maker stands for placing limit orders. Typically, exchanges like to incentivize traders to provide liquidity to their order book, and usually they'll do this by charging a smaller fee for traders who are using limit orders. So that's why you see a smaller fee right here for using limit orders, and that can be another benefit for using that order type. When you're executing market orders, you're known as a market taker, and for the convenience of that, you will pay a higher fee of 0.06%. So a market order makes you a market taker, and a limit order makes you a market maker. You can see down here, if you choose to opt in for some of the VIP, that the fees can change. The higher the VIP level, the less in fees you'll be paying. You'll be able to see your spot trading fees here and your futures trading fees here. Now these fees could be different by the time you're watching this video, so it's not a bad idea to come in here and see what the current fees are at. To get verified, we'd come right up here to our profile icon and then click right here on KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. Here in the identity verification page, you'll see a section right here that says personal verification. The requirements for this verification is going to be providing some personal information, a government issued document such as a driver's license or passport, and you'll have to take a selfie. To get started with this, you just click right here on verify. And this form is pretty self-explanatory. Simply choose the country or region that you reside in from this drop-down menu right here. Then choose your document type by clicking right here. And here's where you'll find your document options that you can use. I'll go ahead and just select driver's license. Next, you'll have to type in the ID number of your government issued document that you'll be using for the verification process. I'm just using a burner account that I created for the purposes of this tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and just put in a random number here. But you want to make sure that the information you provide does match the document that you'll be using. You'll see a little note about that right here as well. So you're going to want to answer these questions honestly. Otherwise, your verification will be rejected. Then we'd put in our first name as well as our last name. Then come down here, select your date of birth. Once you have this form filled out, you come down here and click on Next. Now on this page here, you'll have to upload the government issued document. So in my case, that would be a driver's license. So simply take a photo of that document, then click on Upload Image here to upload it to Bitunix. Down here, you'll have to take a selfie holding that document in your hand. So simply take your selfie holding your document, then click here on Upload Image. Once that's complete, come down here and click on Submit. And then you're all finished. Once Bitunix has reviewed your documents as well as your information, your account will be verified. And there you have it, your introduction to trading futures on the Bitunix crypto exchange. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Also feel free to check out my other Bitunix tutorials, which I've put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.